Mix. Welcome, everyone. Good morning to you. Let me take the opportunity to wish everyone a happy 2025. I am your guest today, or should I say your host also, of the Traffic Mix today. Normally, I would be on your police forum show, which is scheduled every Friday. However, I had to come to the public today to educate and sensitize on some important events and changes that will be happening within the town of Soufrière. I am your host, Inspector Rene, officer in charge of the Soufrière and Choiseul Police Station. Let me take the opportunity to wish everyone, a very fantastic 2025. My staff at the Soufrière and Choiseul Police Station, let me say good morning to you. A wonderful good morning to my taxi drivers, the staff of Banca St. Lucia, all my people on the waterfront, my sergeants, my corporals, my constables. Thank you for the support in 2024 and looking forward to a bright and brilliant 2025. Today, the objective of today's show is really to speak to the Soufrière motoring public and the general population on an exciting, eventful, an important activity which will be held on Friday, the 10th of January, 2025. As some of us would have known that sometime in November 2024, the owner and designer of Jade Mountain Hotel and Shasney Hotel passed away. That is the great Mr. Nick Troubetzkoy. And him being a important part of the Soufrière community, the family and staff of the Unshasney Jade Mountain Hotel felt it important that there be a memorial service celebrating his life, his contribution, his efforts to Soufrière and by extension St. Lucia. As a result, a memorial service has been planned, and this is scheduled for Friday, the 10th of January 2025. The activity is open to members of the public. So each and everyone is invited to attend. I have been hearing statements and comments being made on social media where the activity is only limited to special invited guests. But this is not the information that I have as the inspector in charge of the station. The information we have on the plan that has been happening is in relation to hosting an event open to each and every person in and around the town of Soufrière, each and every person who may have been directly or indirectly been impacted by Mr. Troubetzkoy. And as a result, the activity is an open activity, open to each and every single members of the public. Let me take this time out to extend condolences to his wife and our family on their grief, knowing that the passing of a family member is always a difficult time. So as the inspector in charge of the Soufrière Police Station, I want to extend sincere condolences to the family of Mr. Nick Troubetzkoy and the staff at Jade Mountain and Shasney Hotel. So today, my reason for being here is one, to clarify a few things and dispel a few things, and importantly, to educate the public on the police security and traffic plan for this event. As everyone would know, Mr. Troubetzkoy was a very well-known, prominent individual, not just locally, but nationally and internationally. His contribution to the tourism product in St. Lucia has allowed this country to receive many awards, many high recognition. And I think it is important that there be a remembering of him through a activity that commemorate the achievements and accomplishments too that he has achieved. So from the information we have and the plan that we have, there will be a church memorial service at the Soufrière Roman Catholic Church. That activity is expected to host a large crowd, especially very important guests and dignitaries who will be in attendance. As a result, it's important that the police engage in a security and traffic management plan that will ensure the safe and secure movement of persons, the safety of the guests, and also to allow the free flow of traffic without in any way impacting normal commerce, the free flow of traffic. I could tell you that extensive planning has gone into this activity, and enhanced security measures are being put in place. And it is important that we understand that an event of that magnitude, an event of that nature, will or can be compared to that of a state funeral, where you expect high level officials, foreign diplomats, um, and many other persons, high profile persons in attendance. And as a result, there is the risk of a bad actor using the opportunity to engage in nefarious behavior that can cause harm and develop a bad reputation for our town. And that is something that we want to avoid. We want to ensure that at no point in time there is any risk to anybody who is in attendance, whether it's the local suffragan or a specially invited guest. And as a result, the Sufre police have developed a traffic plan which will ensure that the full safety and security on every person. At this point in time, we are in collaboration with various divisional heads and the Office of the Commissioner of Police to provide the relevant support for that day in order to allow us to police this event safely and successfully. We are anticipating that at the memorial service at the Roman Catholic Church, that there will be approximately, or we are catering for approximately 1,000 persons in attendance at that service. As a result, it's important that there be proper control mechanisms to avoid the confusion between vehicular traffic and human traffic. We also have to factor, how do we manage the seating of all those persons? How do we manage the providing of protection for those persons? And as a result, a decision has been taken that we will create this cordoning off of the church that will allow minimal traffic intervention during the hosting of the event. So as a result, we will be allowing for certain roads to be closed on that day. I could let you know that the closures will not be for the entire day, but we are looking at approximately 2 p.m. to close certain aspects that will minimize the flow of traffic in and around the crowded area of the church on that day. So what will happen is from Thursday evening, there will be the erection of certain signage in and along various streets near the Roman Catholic Church. So we're looking at Church Street from the intersection of Sudan and Alexander Street. There will be no parking signs placed there up until Upper Church Street. Also on Sir Arthur Louis Street, which already is a no parking area, there will be additional signs to ensure that no vehicular traffic is parked in and around that area. There will be no parking along Victoria Street, Lower Victoria Street, and also along both Upper and Lower Princess Street. For some of us who don't know which street is Princess Street is the Napa Street, the Home Hotel Street. Those areas we want to remain clear for security purposes, being that we are expecting a number of dignitaries and high-level officials to be present. They will be coming with their vehicle and security personnel, and as a result, protocol dictate that parking arrangements be made available to them. I know it will inconvenience certain persons. I know that a number of persons enjoy coming to Soufriere, parking their vehicles in town, and then heading to work. I employ the hotel workers, those persons working cash rates on that day. if you could try to avoid coming into town with your vehicle, if you could walk from your home and then park and then take the public bus out of Soufrière. We want to minimize the volume of traffic on that day, so that at the end of it, there's no major traffic jam, there's no major inconvenience to persons who are going to work, persons who are traveling to the airport, to and from the airport, taxi drivers who would have to shuttle persons from the hotel to the airport and vice versa. We want to, as much as possible, minimize the level of inconvenience to everyone. And the less traffic we have, the less vehicles we have within that area will greatly assist with that process. So as a result, there will be cordoning off of the Soufrière Roman Catholic Church. So like I mentioned, there will be no parking along Church Street, Sir Arthur Lewis Street, Victoria Street, High Street. And that will be from the night of Thursday to ensure that there is no traffic or no vehicles parked. Any vehicle that is found parked within the no parking signs, I could guarantee you there will be two options. Firstly, you will be ticketed first thing in the morning. You will be ticketed. And then now, if that vehicle is not removed by a certain time, a wrecker will be employed to take your vehicle and wreck it to the Marine Basin Viewport. Because at no point we want anybody to believe that they could defeat the purpose and objective that we intend to achieve on that day. So I ask everyone to cooperate with the police. Let there be no inconveniences to you and the host of that event. As we approach closer to the memorial service, we will be closing off vehicular traffic to the Soufrière Roman Catholic Church because we anticipate that there will be a large crowd. And as a result, we would like for there not to be the clashing of vehicular and pedestrian traffic. So as a result, the following traffic plan has been developed and will be instituted. Vehicles coming into Soufrière from the direction of Choiseul Vieux-Fort will turn into High Street, going in the direction of Bay Street, Soufrière. Vehicles now will take a left into High Street from Church Street and then will be allowed to go down Bridge Street. Bridge Street will remain open to the regular flow of traffic on that day. So traffic will continue. However, vehicles will be allowed to turn right into Daniel Alexander Street and to proceed up in that direction. However, there will be a no entry sign at the intersection of Sir Daniel Alexander and Church Street, which would mean that vehicles will not be allowed to drive past Marcy and head towards the Roman Catholic Church. There will also be a no entry at the intersection of Sir Daniel Alexander Street and Victoria Street, Lower Victoria Street. Vehicles will not be allowed to enter in that area. Vehicles will be allowed to turn right onto Boulevard Street, and if you are going to New Development Font Saint-Jacques, you take a left onto by Courts and proceed up the Foncaco New Development Road, Font-Jacques Road. However, if you are exiting Soufrière, you will not be allowed to take a right onto Sir Arthur Lewis Street, which is Mr. Haynes Street. You will have to go towards High Street and then now exit onto Church Street from High Street. So you'll be allowed to go by Courts and then now turn onto High Street and then left onto Church Street and exit Soufrière. Right, so this will be the route. So vehicles coming from Vieux-Fort, you will take a left onto High Street, go down Bridge Street, and then you could go to Ancharsney, proceed to New Development, Palmis Road, Fire Service, the bridge, wherever you wish from there. However, if you intend to exit Soufrière, you will have to go up to Daniel Alexander Street, which is Pier 28th Street, the street coming from by the station, the street where Westec is. You'll have to continue up that street and then head on to Boulevard Street and then onto High Street and back, and whether you want to go um, back out of Soufrière, or if you go in the development, Font Saint-Jacques, you follow the natural course of the road. The W. Quinlan Street, which is a street by the church and by the bridge, not the church, by the hospital, that street will remain open. So if you are going to Wingsville, if you are going to Boulevard Street from there, you can continue your natural course of that road. However, it must be noted that at the intersection of Church Street and Sir Daniel Alexander Street, vehicles will not be allowed to enter there. And also at the intersection of Victoria Street and Sir Daniel Alexander Street, there will be a no entry sign at the intersection of Church Street and Upper High Street. So that is when you come in from by the church going out of Soufrière on Church Street, you will not be allowed to come down into Church Street by the square and then turn left onto Sir Arthur Louis Street. You will not be able to turn left or right from there. So anybody who wants to enter into Soufrière will have to take a left into High Street and then onto Bridge Street. And that will be from 2 p.m. until the end of the funeral or the memorial service at the Catholic Church will be at should be end somewhere before 5 p.m. From there, we have the second part of the activity, which will be the hosting of the celebration of life, which will be on the waterfront. That activity is open. That activity is expected to start from 5 p.m. and will last until 10:30 p.m. Right? There will be a stage set up in the open parking area in front of Pitty Pick, and there will be live entertainment and a number of different activities for the public. There'll be music, there'll be memorial speeches, a number of different activities to entertain the members of the public. There will be food provided to individuals, and that will come at no cost. There will be a number of food stalls or tents set up on Sir Frederick Clark Street, which is a street from Excelsior Plaza or Charles Building down to Seaview. So there'll be a number of food tents there where persons can come in, whether you are in attendance at the funeral or not, you will be allowed to come in, and from there you will get something to eat. Also, there will be drinks provided to members of the public.
How does that work?
So there will be a number of tents set up. Some will be along Maurice Mason Street or the waterfront. And from there, persons will be given tickets, which would allow them to get a certain number of drinks. Right? The organizers, the family have developed this wonderful idea of what is called a Nick Buck. Right? A Nick Buck basically is Nick Troubetzkoy currency. Yeah, bucks, buck, Nick Buck. So it's his currency, which will, one Nick Buck will be equal to 5 EC. Right? So you can now use that to get any drink that is equivalent to the amount that you have. Right? So a number of tents will be set up that will be providing the drinks. You will be issued with your Nick Bucks. The organizer will determine how much they'll be given each person, but that will be done in a control mechanism. And I know that we expect a large crowd, but I anticipate that everybody will behave, orderly and decently on that day. There will be a high police presence, and I could tell you that we will not allow or tolerate any kind of bad behavior. From the information I have received, there will be sufficient food and drink for enough people, for persons. So it is important that you come and not fight on rush, right? So let us all come and let us be discreet. Let us be respectful. Let us celebrate the life of the Mr. Troubetzkoy and not create any situation that will embarrass the planners and the persons executing this event. There will also be a number of bars who will be allowed to redeem those Nick bucks. So if you don't want to go to the food tents, you would go to the various bars and you will be allowed. So one of the bars is soon come. One is Seaview Bar is one of the areas where you could remit those Nick bucks. Soon come Mambo, the Dream, Cheapers Bar. Those are some of those we have confirmed will be accepting the Nick bucks and will be providing drinks, refreshments to persons. So it's important that persons know that. I think there is discussion for Voila. I'm not confirmed yet, but I will be getting information from the organizers, as to whether persons can where else they could go to remit those Nick bucks and get their free drink. As part of this celebration, there will be a grand fireworks display, 10 minutes of fireworks. And I could tell you for New Year's, the fireworks display was 3 minutes. And we saw how spectacular that was. So this activity will be 3 times what you saw on New Year's Day. So everyone is invited to come and let us just have a fun time. Let us remember, the contribution, and let us behave as suffragans, people who are disciplined, persons who are, maintain high standards, and let us not create an environment where we fight for food and drink. Let us not embarrass ourselves. I saw Tessa Monlouis is saying that not everyone is listening. However, I hope that Tessa, you could share information with everybody that you meet, so that everybody, so those who are not listening, can know what is happening. I will be coming back on the Police Forum show on Friday to discuss this matter. Again, so we try our best to sensitize persons as much as possible. As it relates to traffic flow for the waterfront event, there will be limited control of the traffic movement along the waterfront. As I mentioned, there will be a stage set up along PTP parking area there. There will be tents along both Frederick Clark Street, which is the street from Excelsior Plaza down to the waterfront, and then Maurice Mason Street, which is the street, the Bank Street or the waterfront. Those areas, there will be certain control of the traffic flow there. So we are looking at erecting no entry signs past the gas station, where vehicles will not be able to be allowed to pass beyond the gas station. Any vehicular traffic that may, and we are still in discussion and finalization of that, any vehicle that will be allowed into the waterfront would only be for the purpose of going to the gas station based on the decision that we take on that day. We are still finalizing and fine-tuning that aspect of it. And then by Friday, we should be in a position to see more clearly what exactly the position will be, but there will be limited flow of traffic. So I employ persons that try your best not to try to drive to the waterfront, because you may not be granted access, since we expect after the church service, everybody's going to move to the waterfront and they're going to have entertainment. You don't want that that interaction of vehicular and pedestrian traffic. And from a security perspective, it is always important to plan and prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. We have seen on TV over the past months and years where persons have engaged in terrorist act where they just drive through a crowd of people and injure and kill multiple persons. And this is some of the risk assessments we have done, and decide that even though we don't expect it to happen, we are going to put all measures in place to prevent it from happening. And that is what is done in operational planning. That is what you do when you do security risk assessments. You plan for the worst. You put all the measures just in case it happens, right? Because you don't want to think of it, not put the measures, it happened, and then you say to yourself, oh, we discussed it. Had we known, we would have enforced it. So it is our job to ensure that we protect the lives of every single person that is there. And as a result, the decision will be taken as to what is the best approach, whether the area will be sterile of any vehicular traffic or whether there'll be limited access to traffic. And that is a decision that will be taken by the relevant authorities based on the powers that we have as law enforcement. So there are still discussions being had. We are still, trying to see the best solution to the traffic management plan and to create as minimal, level of discomfort to persons. But at the end of the day, the risk assessment will dictate what course of action will be taken on that day. So it is important that everybody know that. I see someone saying that everyone is not listening. I see Nadia is asking. Nadia Kazabo is asking for a map. Nadia, as a Nemo person, you should be educating Suferians on the different streets. Our job to know the streets. I see Esther Louise is asking how many persons know the names of the street. Guys, it is important that we learn the name of the streets, so that at the end of the day, when you look at disaster preparedness and you look at evacuation points and all those kind of aspects, if there's an evacuation plan, a tsunami evacuation plan, for example, for Soufriere, and the plan says go to Daniel Alexander Street or go Princess Street or go up, Delia Street. You need to know that so you know where to go and that you don't put yourself in harm's way. So it's important that we familiarize ourselves with the various streets on that day. So Google Map has it, people. So let us take the time out to go out and just familiarize ourselves with the various streets within our town so that we are familiar with our town. I am sure there are persons who are not from Soufriere, yes, still they are quite familiar. The tourists would come and within one day, they would make sure that they familiarize themselves with every street to get their way around. So as Soufrierians, we need to now begin to learn our streets. When you walk through town, just lift your head up. The signs are there. The name of the streets are there. Familiarize yourself with them. I see Claudine Francis saying, I am not from Soufriere, but I work here, so I am not familiar with the streets and the names. Claudine, I could tell you there will be police officers present who will be directing the flow of traffic. There will be signage to inform of any detour or any no entry or, all the various signs that will guide access in and out of Soufriere. So, let us ensure that we familiarize ourselves with those streets. Let us familiarize ourselves. If you know you're going to be in Soufriere, get your Google Map going, see what route you can take before you enter. Plan your trip on that day so that at the end of the day, you do not get yourself tied up in traffic and you not like a fish out of water on that day. Yes, I see Caribbean guys in W. Queenland Street is the hospital street. Yes, that's W. Queenland Street. Like I said, so Daniel Alexander Street is the street from Pier 28 up to Boulevard Street, which incorporates West Tech and all those buildings. We have Church Street, which is the main street from the hospital, running all the way up to Upper Church Street. Let us see. Sir Arthur Lewis Street is Mr. Haynes Street from Arnold Market, going up to Courts. That is Sir Arthur Lewis Street. Princess Street is Home Motel, Napa, going all the way up to Boulevard Street. Victoria Street is the street running from the church, running towards the court. And High Street is what we call Upper Bombay area, I think. Right, that street that moves from the Boulevard Street onto that it moves from east to west from Boulevard Street all the way to Bay Street, which is by when you go into Barons Drive. Claudine Francis asks, and also the reserve parking for persons who work at the waterfront. Well, Miss Francis, the people at the waterfront who I know qualify for parking there is the post office, the police station, immigration and customs, the taxi drivers, Those are the persons who I know qualify. Let me see. Does NIC have a park in there? I think NIC does have a park in there. Um, but nobody who does not is not allowed a parking will not be allowed to park there. So we will try our best to facilitate persons who have parking and get alternative parking for them on that day. Yes, Miss Claudine, I realize you are from Inland Revenue Department. We will try to see if we could get alternative parking for you. So on that day, you are not inconvenienced, but we will try our best to put measures in place, and we try our best to keep that area clear. Again, the event on the waterfront is expected to start at 5 p.m. So by then, most persons would have been out of office, and that would allow for the access to the space and the closure of that road at that time. So we are trying our best to minimize the inconvenience to everybody, but we are asking everybody to work collaboratively with us, because at the end of the day, like somebody posted there, it's Nick's day. I think Nick Troubetzkoy and his family have impacted the lives, whether directly or indirectly, and it's important to highlight the indirectly, the lives of each and everyone in Soufriere. The brand of tourism, the person who have worked there, the product they offer, some of the voluntary work that they have done, philanthropy work that they have done, have impacted almost all of us in Soufriere, from sports to the animals and the dogs and stray dogs and cats that we have in our streets, sporting to even infrastructural work that they have contributed to, that I could tell you have impacted the lives of each and everyone in Soufriere. So it is important that we now, at the end of the day, acknowledge that there have been major contributions, and we work to celebrate, the accomplishment, achievement, and the life of those persons who have touched almost all our lives. I see Claudine is asking, and also the reserve parking for persons who work in the waterfront. Like I said, we arranged that in the revenue. Okay, fantastic. Anata Paul Valsin, wow. I just happened to fall on this live. Very articulate and engaging. This individual must have contributed highly to Soufriere. By the way, permit to say, you are a replica of your dad. Oh, thank you very much. So let me see. Alvin Augustine, I am late. What exactly you have down there taking place? Again, I'm Alvin. We are speaking of the hosting of the memorial service, the life and memorial service of Mr. Nick Troubetzkoy, the late Nick Troubetzkoy, designer and owner of Jade Mountain and Chasney Hotel. That there will be a celebration of life on Friday, the 10th of January, which will be in two parts. Firstly, there will be a church service at the Soufriere Catholic Church from 3 p.m. until possibly 4:45, and from 5 until 10:30 p.m. there will be an activity along the Soufriere waterfront where there'll be entertainment, food, drinks to the public. Everyone is invited to celebrate the life. There will be fireworks, there will be music, there will be entertainment, there will be tributes, there'll be activities to entertain and celebrate his life. So this is what the activity is about. All right, so we are looking forward to an exciting and eventful day. It will be a bit, stressful for my team, but we are up for the task. We always try our best to provide a professional policing service to the people of Soufriere. So we will be out in high numbers. We have engaged, like I said earlier, the divisional officer who will be providing additional service personnel to service this event. We will be having the assistance of the police marine unit to man our maritime areas. We will be having the assistance of the special services unit, the SSU officers. So anybody who believe they could behave out of character on that day, we will happily eject you out of the festivities. And if you behave in this oddly manner, the criminal code makes provision for that, and we will make the relevant arrests and charges But we don't want to do that. We want it to be a day of celebration. We want it to be a day of excitement, fun, and enjoyment. So at the end of the day, we expect everybody to be in the best behavior. Okay, I see Ismail saying, I see you as the most effective inspector in suffering, educating your community. It speaks volume. Thank you very much, Ismaila. Alvin Augustine say thank you. Sholan, my sister. Hey, bro, don't forget me. She's coming back down. Well, we're waiting for your sister. Anata Paul Valsen is saying, hi, cuz. I trust all is well. Great job. Your bro is doing well. All the best. Thank you very much, Anata Paul Valsen. Sherry Stephen. The month is wrong. It's January, not December. Oh yeah, well, I think yeah. So I have hosting it in January. So my apologies if I said December, but it's this month. We're in January. We'll be hosting it this week. So we look forward to everyone coming and having a fantastic time. We look to hosting a fantastic event. I am always available for any questions or concerns. I am at the Super Police Station. I have an open door policy. If you believe there's anything that you need clarification on, feel free to call the police station at 456-3620, and you will be directed to my office, and we will try to remedy any concerns or questions that you may have. The Super Police Station always look forward to working with the public, and we look forward to your continued support. We want to thank you for 2024. And we look forward to a fantastic and better 2025. As you guys could see, my officers have begun a rigorous traffic management and ticketing activities, I would say. We employ persons to, respect the law, respect the traffic rules. Let us all ensure that our vehicles are in order, our insurance are paid, our licenses are paid. We don't park in places that we are not supposed to, so that at the end of the day, you don't have the inconvenience of being issued a ticket. So we look forward to a fantastic 2025, and we look forward to working collaboratively as a community. As my mantra is, the police is the community and the community is the police. We look for your support, and we look forward to a fantastic working relationship. Thank you very much, and see everyone on Friday. Thank you very much.